Yeah.
I don't know why, but this fight annoys me.
Well, maybe you'll get to see a more... You're almost certainly not going to get to. Because I imagine it's what they would have led with to try to sell the game. But maybe you'll see like a new sexy Ganon in a couple of days. If not, there will be at least somebody who you'll find interesting besides Urbosa.
Urbosa's really the selling point for me.
Yeah, I know. Like when I saw that game and I saw Urbosa just step out there in those massive heals, I was like, that's a Rachel seller. Came back to Spelunky 2. I've been playing it while I'm at work, which is a really bad idea because Spelunky does not play well with trying to do other things.
Do you want to know how I fight Water Blight Ganon and it's stupid?
Yeah, go on.
I summon the wall ice, like the wall of ice, just to be a shield the entire time.
That's completely fair.
And I just keep spamming that to pop up.
Ugh. I don't remember how I played that. I remember thinking that boss was like really cool, like getting to it and everything. And then I just remember hating a lot of the dungeons in that game.
I also just spam bomb arrows.
Yeah, that's fair. I had a really easy time in that game simply by the fact that I was, wow, fucking hated that. I was in that situation of, like, playing Breath of the Wild while I was at work. And so I would just load up an amiibo every day. And just get the amiibo rewards. Do you have the shortcut to Olmec? Dude, I don't have fucking, like, any shortcuts. Last time I tried to take the thing down for her, for Olmec, didn't go well. You can get shortcuts in this game, and it was like every time I tried to do that, I would just get fucking murdered. But it's mostly my fault. Like, almost every time I die in this game, it's either completely my fault in the sense of, like, bad gameplay, or alternatively because I made the decision to piss everybody off. Everybody hated this. Did you ever watch that Breath of the Wild Island video? Yeah, I didn't send it to Rachel because that was incredibly early in the morning, and I don't think she would have watched a 20-minute video on that. But that video basically made my day because, like, amazing. Just everything about it, fantastic. The fact that he took the time to do all of that is just something that just strikes a small part in me very well, because it reminds me of when Nick and I would just do the absurd shit that we would do in, like, Dino Horde or other just weird, ridiculous games. Ah! Why don't you shoot these moles?
What'd you
say?
Got him. I just spam them with bomb arrows.
Only tip is to waste less resources. This is fair.
Sorry, I didn't mute myself in time.
Okay, you know what? Please don't pick up the camera. Oh fuck, he's in the wrong way. You know what? We biffed it. 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 But you know what we didn't do? Two ghosts. If you can't tell, that was an intentional suicide. I was trying not to piss off the shopkeeper, but he had too much good stuff in there, and then I realized that I'd run out the clock. And I just decided, you know what, we'll give it another turn. Oh! He did a shiny-only run of Pokemon Gold, took 70 hours. Meanwhile, I once did a Pokemon run so fast that I eclipsed Shepard and my other friend, to the point where my other friend got mad at me because he thought I was cheating with, like, a Game Shark or something, when he didn't realize I was just really good at playing Pokemon back in the day. So that was pretty funny. Because I think it was like, he spent like 2 weeks, like the day from his birthday onwards, playing Pokemon, and he'd only gotten like halfway through the game. And then I think it was like the mid-afternoon that I got it, and I already had a Blaziken. He was pretty pissed. Which, honestly, that's just very funny, because it's on him. It's like, not my fault that you suck at... Oh! Well. I was gonna say, not my fault you suck at Pokemon, while I suck at Spelunky, so... Nope. Nobody say anything about that. Oh, fuck off that there was a snake inside of that. There was a snake in my pot. That's how come you die when you get high. It's not because of the drugs, it's because there's snakes inside of your weed. I'm sorry. Tomato... Is that tomato anuses? I'm sorry, is that a real person? That can't be. That can't be a real human being with thoughts and feelings. Who would name themselves this? Says the guy named after a nickname that his best friend gave him when they were small children, that coincidentally is also the same name of a mascot that hates pizza. Look up on YouTube tomato. I believe you, I just hate it. That's all. I don't really hate it that much, though, if we're being honest. It's not anything not safe for... why would I think that that's not safe for work? It's on YouTube. Most stuff that's on YouTube is safe for work. It just doesn't mean it's, like, a good name. This is too many enemies in one area, I swear to God. Thank you. Speedrunning conference, he had to be called Tomato Angus. Why wouldn't you just not call him Tomato? That seems like unnecessary work. It's like somehow instinctively everybody knows to just drop the bag when talking to me. Like, I go into people's chat and they've never heard of me before, and they'll just be like, yeah, okay, Noid. It's like, there you go. You got it. You don't need to include the secondary part. Okay, that worked. Wow, that hurt somehow? Cool. Okay. That problem solved. Now we have problem 2. Nope. Okay, well, I wanted to get the HP, but apparently this was not in the cards for me today. I say about 13 streams, you have too much faith in me of how long it will take for me to beat Spelunky 2, given that I've only beaten Spelunky 1 like once or twice. And that's mostly because I don't play them that often. Well, that turkey kind of died, which is fine, because that means that it will become food for us instead. Which means you can also go in the death hole because you will not equal money at the end of my life. But yeah, I know, I don't believe that I will beat Spelunky within 13 streams. I would say it's probably closer to like 75. And not out. Well, we're gonna make a net positive in our life by killing this man and possibly committing Sudoku. Definitely committing Sudoku. Explosions, death, health. Giving up on waiting for multiplayer. That's fair. Multiplayer was like busted as fuck, so. Thank you. Honestly, like, this game with Nick would be great because the last time that we did Spelunky, we ended up beating the game for real. I died like an idiot, but I died like an idiot after helping him get to the end of the game and we figured out like an absolutely hilarious thing. But it probably would not work like that in this game anymore. But I do believe that the idea of like one guy holding a shotgun, one guy holding a jetpack would still work. Or rather, utilizing the jetpack, I should say. But yeah, there's a lot of games I don't play to win, I just play to play, and Spelunky is definitely one of those games. Well, like, there's that whole perspective of, like, are games meant to be beaten, or are games just meant to have fun? And it's kind of like, if you are playing a sport, the objective is to win, but also, really, you are just kind of meant to also enjoy it. Like, we're not Aztec warriors here, like some Mayan death cult playing so that way we can cut off the heads of the other team, or some stupid shit. Like, I'm literally playing a video game, I'm sitting still. Like, there's no real reason for me to be concerned with winning. Like, it'd be nice. That's also kind of the point of roguelikes, is you're not really there to win. At the end of the day, you're there to play. Ooh. If I blew that up, is he gonna get, like, fucking pissed at me because I'm going into his shop? That's the real question. Please, let me sit on you! Jesus Christ. You turkey man? Take your turkey. Right. Right. I forgot how much I hate this game. It's actually terrible. It's complete trash. Because doors apparently stop you from taking a turkey inside, which definitely is how real life works. I remember all those times when I went into a cave and they had those no turkey doors. Those were always great, right?
God, I love Prince Sidon.
Oh, we know.
Such a good boy. Like, you can't look at him and think that he is a bad boy. He's the best boy.
Well, there we go. That worked at the end of the day. And you got some nice things down there, too.
What's in this fucking chest? Thanks, bitch.
We'll worry about that in a second. I know I don't need to do this, but I just felt like doing it so I could get your key. Hey there, Tucker. Now that guy has nothing left in life except his many turkeys, which we will not consider what he does with. I mean, he does sell you to them, like, sell them to you later. I mean, he does sell you to them as well if you try to kill them, and then he will just send your body to the afterlife. Feed you the turkeys, you know. Alright, Ghost, come on. Oh. You know, I want to get that paste, but I just don't trust myself to get it in time. Be very frugal with money for a while. I mean, you should probably be more frugal with your money anyway, because you buy, like, a lot of Warhammer stuff. Like, a lot of Warhammer stuff. Like, you buy enough Warhammer stuff that I think you buy a lot of Warhammer stuff. And granted, I'm not one of those people that's going to the shop, like, every month, being like, give me more. I require plastic. But, you know. Still got a lot of it. Now even more, because I've unlocked the power of gun. Amazing. Well, okay, that worked out in the end, I suppose. Isn't that, like, the ability of every American, though? Like, don't you just have the power of gun unlocked, like, by default as long as you acquire the requisites? Like, Canadians also have the power of gun, but we have the power of, like, hunting gun. Which, you know, like, isn't bad, but is definitely a different brand of gun.
No, we have the power of fuck shit up gun.
Argentinians teaming with USA people to be OP. I mean, the USA getting involved with South America has been very bad historically, so, you know, we unlock the power of hit and run. Depends based on the state. Yeah, but I mean, like, you guys all still have gun laws that are very lax compared to the rest of the world.
Yeah, I mean, in PA, you can
Well,
literally
not the rest
get...
of the world, but you know what I mean. The rest of the civilized world.
In Pennsylvania, you can get a gun and your license to wield said gun all within the span of 5 hours.
Every time I hear stuff like that, right, it just makes me think of the episode of The Simpsons where Marge goes to be a police officer, and there's the one crazy dude just jittering in the corner, and he's like, "When do we get the freaking guns?" And the chief just goes, "You'll get your gun when you tell me your name." It's like the barrier to entry could not be lower in some states.
Yeah, I mean, it's like New York, it takes a long time for you to get your permit because they have a lot of testing that you have to go through.
I think it's also like states like New York have so many fucking people.
No, it's more so like they want to make sure that they're giving the permits to the correct individuals.
2-day background check is still like too little. Like, it took longer than that for me to get a background check done, so that way I could go and be like an educator in a school. Like, come on.
Welcome to the US, anything. It's not great, because when my brother was in PA, he was like, I want to carry a gun, and he got it all. He got the background check and everything, and the gun all within one day.
Like, that just sounds so goofy to me. Like, I'm not gonna say it's bad necessarily, but I'm gonna say it's not optimal in my opinion.
Oh, and in some places in like Kentucky, Alabama,
It's
Louisiana,
I mean, a revolver is at least a cool gun.
That's what my brother has, is a revolver.
They're very not optimal. Like,
When my dad dies,
fuck off.
I get he has like this super small. It's almost like
That was instant.
It's almost like what the fuck?
I wasn't even
this?
underneath him. Of course, it's another snake.
Oh, it's a bed. But the gun that my dad is giving me when he passes is like a.
I stood on his back and it wasn't instant
like a Men in
before.
Black gun. It's just so small.
Okay, you know what I'm thinking of? Just because you said like the Men in Black gun, and it's a very small gun. I'm thinking immediately of that white lady who got like out in front of her yard because she was scared of like protesters. And she was
the gun's smaller than that. But it only can hold one bullet, right? It can only hold one bullet at a time.
What?
But the bullet, but the bullet that it holds is the size of like a shotgun shell.
Yeah, but like what?
Yeah, it's a very impractical gun. But like, if you can get one hit, that person's dead. I'm like, why are you giving me this gun? This is not the gun I want when you die. I told you that I want your shotgun that you have, your pump action fucking shotgun. Because despite me being liberal, I like guns.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong with liking guns. It's just that like a lot of
just...
people that are into guns are like insane people.
Yeah, and I think there should be better background tests other than like, oh, okay.
I think a good example is like Japan with Gun Otaku, where they go through like all the licenses and shit, and they do all the rules, and they don't complain because they understand that it's a weapon.
Yeah, but he's like, well, I don't
Sounds
think
like
you
a Derringer. Could be a Derringer because it is a bit silly sounding.
He's like, yeah, it literally, it's super small, it only holds one bullet. And the bullet's huge. But, he's like, well, that's the only gun that...
Usually small, though. Ooh, that was a mistake.
He's like, that's the only gun that you can fit in your tiny hands. I'm just like...
See, that's just unnecessarily brutal, though. That's,
well, you know,
that's harsh.
This is also the man who thinks that COVID's us getting ready for the Antichrist. So...
Yeah, I cannot stress this enough. Entirely just due to the fact that I am not a biblical scholar, but it takes about 4 minutes to fact check things. And pestilence, well, is one of the various
fourth, isn't it?
four
Or
horsemen.
third?
No, they're one of them, but like my point is the alternation is either pestilence or conqueror. And he is part of the church that does not believe in pestilence. So fuck off, get out of here. You're picking the wrong one.
And then when he tried pulling that shit, I was just like, so bubonic plague. That wasn't. He's like, well, well, back then, he's like, right now, in the Bible, it states that we're gonna be living in a world of nothing but sin and people blinded by sin. I'm like, yeah.
Oh yeah, you mean the Roman Empire?
I'm like, yeah, then I'm pretty sure there was sin back then. It doesn't say how bad the sin has to be. It's just saying sin in the world, and I'm pretty sure sin's always been a thing, Pop. And I was like, okay, so that's fine. Okay, so then, like,
oh, fuck.
what?
Did that kill the cat?
Why isn't...
No, it didn't.
If you're talking about war, then why isn't, like... Don't you think World War II would have been the big, like, thing? The big war?
Well, there were people that thought that Hitler was the Antichrist, too. Which would have been a pretty good one, because he did take a lot of land.
And I'm just like... And my dad's just like, no, that doesn't count. I'm like, you don't get to pick and choose what is and what isn't the thing you want. That's not how this works, Dad. Like, either... And he was just kept being like, no, you're thinking about it all wrong.
He's one of those guys who thinks that he understands the thing, but he doesn't... Like, it's a bad example to use, and I know it's a bad example to use, so, like, both you and chat, like, you know, don't come at me sort of thing. But, like, Good Omens, the Neil Gaiman, Terry Pratchett book, right? Like, a core part of that is, yeah, God's plan is ineffable, and even if you think that you get it, you don't. Like, that's it. That's all there is to that. It's just, if there is a God, why do you think that you could possibly ever predict or interpret its shit? Like, there's whole passages that basically say, like, yeah, nobody's supposed to know when the apocalypse is gonna happen, man.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, why would you? Why would a being that wants to test humanity ever, like, tell you, yeah, this is gonna be the day? Like, no, you are a literal mortal. You do not understand the concept of what is at practice here.
Well, like, I don't know. And then that got
there was a person saying that 2017 was gonna be the apocalypse. This was after 2012.
Well, and then
after
it just got into this whole fucking hold on, I gotta kill electric bats. And then it just got into this whole fucking argument of me being like, I mean, I know I've said this on stream before, and I said it to my dad before.
I thought God's plan was Drake giving money to people.
But I'm like, because he said that I'm not a good Christian.
I mean, he's not either, though. Like, he barely is Christian.
I'm like, I think I don't want to toot my own horn, but I think if you put you and myself and my dad beside one another, you didn't ask us any, like, biblical things, you just talked to us as people, I'd be more of a Christian than my father.
Well, that's the thing, is Christianity's not supposed to be defined based off of the doctrinal followings. It's more so about, like, the general belief and, like, how well you hold the tenets of it, not so much how well you could preach it.
Yeah, and how well you know it. But I told I'm like, so
that's
Dad,
more Catholicism.
I was like, so Dad, I have a question for you. He's like, what? I'm like, fuck, if I don't breathe in hard, too deep, I'm fine.
This never goes well for me. There's gonna be lava down here instantly, isn't there?
I told him, I was just like you like God, aside from like his
Yep,
edgy
fucking
phase
instantly.
in
God
like
damn it.
the Old Testament,
I'm not getting past that.
God and Jesus are considered to be pretty loving and forgiving, correct? He's like, yeah. I'm like, okay, cool. So why do you think God would damn anybody who doesn't follow the King James version of
This
Christianity?
very specific new version of the Bible.
And my dad's like, well, it's the right one. I'm like, to you it is. I'm like, but from what I've understand, there were other writings of the Bible before the King James version.
Yeah, extremely many.
I'm like, and from what I understand, King James was like, I'm gonna have this German guy translate this for me. And like, I know some words don't translate well from old Judaic language to German and then to English, but
Also,
hey, like,
Latin.
yeah, it's like what I want you to do is just figure it out. So I'm not saying that all of the biblical texts that exist are translated and probably translated incorrectly, but he was like, well, that's the right one. That's the correct one. All of the other ones.
Is super scuffed.
It was like all of the other writings and translations are wrong. I'm like, so you're telling me that if you are not Baptist, and if you do not read the King James version of the Bible, you are going to hell. He's like, yes. I'm like, I don't see that happening.
My body hurts. I'm
In
dying.
my personal belief of, and that's why it's like, I'm not a Christian. I believe in God and Jesus and their teachings.
I mean, you're Christian, but in like the sense of like Christian before the megachurches and
yeah, I don't use it as a weapon. It's like, I'm like, I don't see.
Also, yeah, it did start with like a Greek version or something. A lot of Christianity was translated from Greek teachings, which is really fun because if you're me, that means that you know that at one point in the Bible they refer to a lot of places as Hades and Tartarus, which is extremely funny.
And I'm like, hey, your dad, so I just don't see an all-loving, all-knowing God being like, unless you're from this specific twig of a church that is like branched off from a trunk of another religion, and if you don't read this specific Bible, you're not coming in. I don't think that's happening. I feel like he's like, do you understand the general practice? You're good. Like, do you understand the general story, and do you try your best to follow the teachings to what you believe to be correct, or are you a good person? You're fucking fine. But that's my belief. I could be wrong. I could, when I die and go to heaven, or see Jesus and God, they're gonna be like, you were wrong, and I'll be like, whoops, I tried.
I'm not gonna go in the area. I don't have Ankh, but also like, I don't have a gun, so I can't kill that guy. I didn't realize that was gonna eat me right away, and also I looked at chat. Thanks. I'm lying. I'm gonna be honest, I've never stood on that until today. I've literally never stood on it until today.
I want to know something. When did hold on.
Oh yeah, no, do your research. It's very fun.
Oh, I'm so... Okay, hold on.
Also, that was a really lucky pull that we just got.
When...
Oh my god, there's so many resources on this level.
When...
Fuck. Alright, Kat, you're gonna do your job here.
I'm sorry.
I don't think anyone cares.
That
was a good laugh.
Oh no!
That cat is the luckiest cat.
1611 is when the King James version of the Bible was published.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
What I'm afraid of most this is fine, is COVID gonna boy who cried wolf me. I'm sorry? Like, I know what boy who cried wolf means, but fuck off! I pressed RB, you asshole! I think I might have a little bit of latency trouble.
Which Bible is the most accurate? Let's just see. what
I mean,
people
technically,
say.
they're all like extremely inaccurate. Like any modern day.
The Bible was originally written in Hebrew and Greek. Therefore, if you're reading it in English, you naturally won't get the best translation. But let's do our best here. I just like, oh, that was the opening.
Well, also like a lot of the issues that stem out of the Bible is the use of metaphor not getting picked up. I hate this, cat. Please come back here. Thank you. I'm afraid when I actually get it, I'll be too numb to the stress that I won't think I have it. Okay, that's fair, yeah.
Most scholars agree that the New American Standard Bible gets the crown for being the most accurate English translation. There are 3 main approaches: word for word, thought for thought, and paraphrase. Cool. I just want to know in order. Where does the King James Version stand?
One of my favorite Bible facts is that 666 / number of the beast is like a Hebrew numerology code that just straight up refers to Emperor Nero. Yeah, it does. It's also possibly not. Well, I'm not even saying possibly. It literally is also not even just 666. It's like 616 or something like that as well, or 626, something like that. Like there's another enumeration of it that people just like they don't know which one it is the problem.
So King James Version of the Bible is ranked 6th on translations.
Yeah.
The one that's word for word is the New American. Wait, what is it?
Whoa. That was
New
close.
American Standard. King James Version is. So that one is word for word, meaning for meaning, which I guess is less.
Basically, this is a bad example.
It literally says closest neutral experience.
Yeah, what I was about to say is, think about like when you're like reading or watching an anime and it's been translated very literally sometimes, but in the process it doesn't read very well. Or like it sounds really jank. Like Persona 5. But like little New American Standard X. A really good example of like people losing track of things being metaphor is 40 Days and 40 Nights isn't supposed to be taken literally. It's a term that old like Jewish people used to say it's been a really long time. So like, you know how humans nowadays say like, oh yeah, it took forever to do something? Imagine if in 200 years the word forever has been replaced somehow, and every time somebody read it, they were like, they meant literally it was an eternity to be able to complete this task. Like 40 Days and 40 Nights just means like, man, it took me forever to do this. And so like it rained for 40 days and 40 nights is just, man, it was like really rainy. I would fucking love a Bible translator's notes every 3 paragraphs. That has to exist, right? There has to be like a form of the Bible that's like, here are all of our translation differences or like the meanings behind things. Like imagine if there was a guy who just doesn't translate a word and then in the translator notes it's like, we kept this as the original Judaic because we felt it preserved the meaning better. And you're like, this is some anime bullshit.
There is a Bible that has 4 different Bible verse, like different, has different paragraphs from 4 different Bibles and shows how different they are when translated. So that's kind of cool.
I don't know how he needs plan.
What is the most...
Ah, fuck. Get off of there, I want to use your body. We might not have the time to do this. No, because we can't take his body with us. Why can't you take bodies with you through doors? I don't understand this meta.
Because I just feel... You know, it's fine. We're not gonna get into this.
No, go on. It's fine. We are literally doing nothing else besides watching me die repeatedly in a video game.
But here, it literally all depends on what Bible do you read. That's gonna be the most accurate to you. That's all this because somebody else is just like, no, I think the King James Version is the most. After 400 years, King James Version is the most accurate Bible translation and the best on the planet.
But, like, by whose definition?
Yeah, it's like, how?
Like, that provided no evidence to back up that claim. I think arguably that's my favorite part about that, is just, it's the best. You didn't give me a reason.
Come on, Bible Society.
To be honest, if
don't
you
let
were
me
actually a
down.
good Christian, you would learn Aramaic, read the original Bible. Like, that's actually a real, like, actual point, though.
I jokingly tell my parents, like, if you want to, like, do the original, just be Jewish.
Well, no, like, if you want to be a real Christian, like, there is Christianity, just, you know, it needs to actually be Christianity, is kind of the point.
Oh, and then they were yelling because, like, I'm in...
I didn't mean to do that, but fuck me, I guess.
I'm in a relationship with you, and you're not a Christian.
Which is super fun to me, because I love when people like to point out that stuff because of how hypocritical it is.
And then I'm like, and I just told them, they're like, you're friends with gay people. And in my mind, I'm like, do y'all forget that I find women attractive? But I didn't bring it up.
Well, that's the thing. They like to pretend that that's not a thing.
And, yeah, it's like the stink bug that's still underneath the cup. If I forget it's there, it doesn't exist.
Hate that a lot.
It's just there. It's still alive, too. I'm letting it die. It's gonna die slowly, but it's gonna die.
Serious question. What do people hate so much about reading? It involves us having to read. Like, I like reading, but a lot of people are like, you know what? This is too much work.
I like reading, but it has to be something that I want to read, or otherwise I'm gonna hate the experience.
You know, I'm gonna be honest, I thought Hired Help was fucking dead there.
But they're like, well, you're in a relationship with somebody who's atheist. I'm like, so? I'm like, if you really want to get to it, it's technically not our job to judge people.
Also,
so...
I'm technically not even an atheist.
I'm like...
I just don't know if there is... I need proof.
Well, and I kept telling them, like, it's not my job to judge anybody. It's not like...
I mean, no, like, that's objectively true. It's not.
It's like, forgive me if I'm wrong. I'm pretty sure in the Bible that you're preaching at me, it says we are not supposed to judge. That's God's job.
I can actually answer the reading thing. A lot of kids don't grow up reading, so the first experience they have reading is in a school context, and learn to associate reading with school, which fucking sucks. Yeah, see, I first learned, and this is gonna also inform as to why I am not, again, like, not an atheist. Excuse me, I'm like half like yawning and burping there, and it was really hurting. A big reason why I am the way I am, which is just such a thing to say, is the fact that when I first was taught to read, it was like I was taken to a library and just told pick out whatever interests you, and I saw a book on the various types of mythology, and I saw a book on evolution, and I was like 5. So, and keep in mind, like, I knew how to read by then, but I'm meaning, like, reading for your own personal interests kind of thing, right? And so it's like, if you want to know where all this comes from, it's like the associations of religion and fascinations with mythology, they go back all the way to literally the beginning. And it's like, I didn't grow up being told, like, here's God. God did all the things. And it was like, instead I grew up being like, here's Hades. He's pretty fucking sick, right?
Well, I also... So we got off the topic of, like, you being... I just said you're atheist because it's easier for them not to understand.
It's simple. They understand simple.
Yeah. And they're like, well, what are you going to do if you have a kid with him? I'm like, well, I plan on having children with this man.
Yeah.
And what I'm going to do is I'm going to be like, this is what I believe, yeah. But hey, there are these other religions
People don't understand
as well.
Agnostic snaps.
It's like no, they don't, which is why I just go, you're an atheist.
Like, I will simplify it as atheist to people too, because I don't necessarily believe, but it's not like a straight up zero.
But, like, I told them, like, hey, like, I'll tell them this is what I believe, but there are these other religions too out there, and I don't want you to be dumb or ignorant,
Fucking
so
hired
I will.
helps.
It's like I won't. I'll have you do that because you're smarter. But it's like I'll teach them. You know, I'll tell them like, yeah, there's this and this. People back then believed that.
Ugh!
Like, you inform them, and then
Oh,
if my kid
God damn it! I got 2 for
reach,
1.
if my kid reaches an age and they're like, hey mom, I want to learn more about God and Jesus, I'd be like, okay, cool, I'll do my best. And if they're like, hey mom, like it's cool that you believe in that, but I want to be a Buddhist,
Yeah.
I'd be like, okay. Like, hey, I want to be Muslim, I'd be like, okay, so long as it makes you a better person.
I mean,
I
that
don't
one
care what
is
you do,
like
kid.
even just kind of close anyway.
Yeah. And you know, they could even say like, I want to pick up Wiccan or whatever. I'm like, just do it safely. Let's figure out how to do this safely.
Finished Harry Potter when I was 9. I don't understand why others couldn't even bother to try to read the first pages. I mean, in fairness, reading like a book from another country can sometimes be like fucked.
And my parents just didn't.
You know what? No.
They were like, that's what is it? The like when you go against blasphemy. They're like, this is like that's blasphemy. Like, no, it's
What's dangerous Wiccan? People that believe in magic actually working.
It's like this is my child. I don't want my child to be ignorant about what's going on in the world because you guys did that to me. And look how I turned out. I'm a flaming pansexual, so thank you.
Alright, that kind of worked out at the end.
I don't know. It just they were just upsetting me, and I told Nick. I sent a message to Nick, being like, I think I'm about ready just to stop talking to my parents.
Honestly, like, I know he and I joke about the, like, how have you not sort of thing. And, like, I get... Nobody talked to me about that. I get how you haven't, but on the other hand, it's like, I really don't get how you haven't.
Because this is gonna come off as really rude and mean. I need money from them now and then.
See, that's the thing, though, is like when you say stuff like that, that appeals to me because of how pragmatic I am. It's like, I get it.
Serious. Like, if my parents were like, we're never, ever, ever going to ever give you money again, I'd be like, okay, cool, well, we're not gonna talk anymore.
There was a trap inside the plants! But yeah, no, I fully understand being pragmatic. Yeah, literally invisible. Welcome to why I usually just go the other way. I actually just kind of hate the jungle. I'm gonna be real.
Alright, let's play some Zelda.
You know what? We're off to a bad start. But yeah, no, I generally just really hate the jungle. It's not that fun to me.
Welcome to the jungle.
Lava Land is, like, I get it. Lava Land is definitely easier. It is definitely easy mode, comparatively. But I tend to make it harder on myself by always trying to go down that little hole, and it never works. Reading is to just mature and quit whining. Well, some people just aren't readers.
Oh, fuck!
Like, it's fine for some people to just not read. Like, I'm not going to say people need to. Like, I haven't read, like, a book in a little while, and I definitely should read more again. But I've just been, like, occupied with other shit. But they're socialized into hating reading. That's partially true, too, though. Like, there is a lot of people that are socialized into not liking reading, either through the aforementioned school bit that was said, or alternatively through the idea of, like, haha, you're a nerd, we're gonna make fun of you now. Which, like, isn't as prevalent as it used to be in society, but definitely still is a problem. I want to get that ruby, but you know what? This is fine. Alternative media can make up for the lack of reading sometimes. True. It sounds bad, but, like, I couldn't type until I played World of Warcraft. Sure, that works. Because they're way more open to audiobooks and stuff now. Yeah, like, I think that there's, like, some questionability to relying on people talking to read for you. But on the other hand, like, I'm just glad for people to hear certain stories, you know?
Fuck me!
What's
me! Oh my fucking god, I'm so fucking upset in this fucking goddamn fucking predicament that I'm in. Fuck me!
What is happening?
Fuck! The fucking stupid bats! Oh my fucking god.
Just playing video games. She's just having a gamer moment.
Oh my fucking god!
Yep, I knew that was gonna happen. Oh my god, that bat! That bat! Rachel's not playing Spelunky, she's playing Zelda.
I wanna fucking kill myself. I lost my sword.
It says a lot about Rachel that she's yelling about something bad happening. It's more likely that it's in real life than in a game. Yeah.
You fucking dumb bat. I lost my stupid sword.
I'm so tempted to just bomb in there, but then they're all gonna be mad at me. I've heard more fuckings in this stream than an AVGN video. Trust me, the guy swears obsessively. I mean, not to pull like a I'm an old man and you're a child thing, but like, I've literally been watching AVGN since his original website before he posted on YouTube. Like, yeah, not to internet-splain. Like, there's an age disparity here that allows me to have known about who and what that man's entire shtick is, like, before you were cognizant of a lot of things. Who? James? Didn't have access to internet when AVGN started? That is fair. But James, the angry video game nerd. Formerly the angry Nintendo nerd. He's gonna take you back to the past. Plays video games. Well, shitty video games that suck ass.
I have a shield, you dipshit.
I don't want...
fucked.
Oh! Wasn't me, but it worked! Never heard of him? That's honestly an astonishment. Like, if you're on the internet and part of video games spheres and you don't know AVGN, that's astonishing.
Nothing makes me more upset than everything breaking in Zelda.
He was very influential in early video game culture. He has like 7,000 ripoffs, and they're all significantly worse. Because none of them get the appeal of what James does. They all just think they do. They think that being angry at the video game is what the appeal is, and not like the effort of the writing and the character that James puts into his creation. Basically, it's a lot of people that miss the point.
Yes, hurt me more!
Oh, well, Misty has given you a subscription, Rachel.
Okay.
Misty found your username.
Okay.
No, that's it. That's all there is to that. We are up to 8 subscribers, which is almost a shame because we won't get to 15. I say that without trying to implore Misty to sub more people. Don't do that. I don't think we even have 15 people that watch anymore. Although the numbers aren't bad lately.
What the fuck is this?
The real question is, like I said to Brack the other day, if when the time comes that we get 15 subscribers, do we get Nick an emote or do we just use that picture of Ghost Rider? Because both would be very funny. And I do like the idea of the Ghost Rider one.
How does this work?
Been meaning to gift her one, but she wouldn't tell me her username, so I found it on my own. Yeah. Rachel Rachel also doesn't remember her username half the time, and thus will make me pull it up. I'm pretty pro Ghost Rider.
What is this?
There was a lady that was on a TV show that I watched recently, and I was like, this person sounds familiar. And then I looked up their IMDb, and they were in the fucking Ghost Rider video game. Like, what a weird thing to cross with. Oh my god, I want you to die. Huh! Hey, so you know how they say never to wish bad things on people? So that's actually the reason why you don't wish bad things on people. It wasn't even hubris, it was just like, it was just karma. This video game honestly gets me with the karma more than it gets me with anything else. Like, if I didn't want to try to fight everything that exists in this game and get, like, all the special shit, I can run it pretty well, but I just don't run it. Just stopped in to do that. Need sleep? Well, that's fair, Misty. Get your sleep.
Fuck me!
Another time. We can't. We're streaming. It would be inappropriate. Also, like TOS. There we go. Oh yeah, so fun fact, has Nick sent you any of the, like, creepy shit that gets, like, talked about his Rachel? Because they're on that radio show, there's some real sketch-ass stuff that people post about them, and it's really fucking creepy. Every time. To which my response to all of it was just, at least the creepy shit that gets said at my Rachel is just about her weird drawings. Most of the time. Like, 95% of the creepy comments that you get are, like, some weird dude being like, I wanna fuck that, you know, weird space rock. Nick's on a radio show? No, Rachel's on a radio show, but not my Rachel. His Rachel is sort of famous for speaking to people on a radio show. Mine is sort of famous because she draws gems with giant tits. Don't want to fuck that Steven character. Like, that's literally what it is, though. Like one of my favorite ones is just that post that she found on the Rule 34 site that was just gems were put on this earth to serve human cock. It's so fucking horrible. Like, that sentence is burned into my brain.
Oh, it's so good, right?
Like, I literally can't forget it because of how bad that sentence is. What is a radio show but analog stream? I mean, a radio show, if we're talking about it like an analog stream, it's a podcast. Like, podcasts are just radio shows. Except sometimes they are now TV shows as well.
Why are you sleeping on the floor?
Like a Castle Super Beast podcast. Ooh, just realized that.
I don't know how I'm gonna get food into this.
Don't worry about it. You know, fair. I probably should have expected that was going to be that one.
Jungle, welcome to the jungle.
Of all the things to be trapped in your brain. I hate myself so much. Literally just walked into that creature. Yeah, sure, that's fine. Oh. Dude, I fucking hate you, please. Okay. Okay. Bonk. Bonk. Okay. Like, I guess sure. I don't think I've ever seen that thing's AI do that before. That was genuinely a first.
I'm never gonna come back, lady, but here's the thing. I'm gonna put on this tube top and you're gonna get distracted by my navel and let me inside.
I'm sorry. What?
I was stupid and I put on a piece of armor by accident. Got kicked out of Gerudo Town. And then in front of the guard, I put on my tube top and they let me in.
No, you don't understand. It's the fact that you're wearing male-identifying clothing is the problem. As long as you identify as a woman, even if it's only sometimes, we'll let you in. But the second that you identify as male again, get out.
Lind would be fine.
Rachel, don't get horny to Link. Too late.
I am very horny for Link, but I only like Link when he's very feminine.
Thankfully, not Link when he's a child.
No, this one is very feminine.
Kali accepts your sacrifice? Sure. We're not gonna question whatever the fuck happened that led to that. It's also good to know that there is an altar here. But I definitely won't be visiting it. Are you guys really just having these goof moments?
Is be a part of a big buff lady armor. Or military.
Ah! Thank you. Noid, you sure you want Rachel as your fiancée given the fact that she's always horny? I mean, you learn to just kind of get over it. Like, I can mostly just shut it out at this point.
Unless it's convenient to him, but, yeah.
But yeah, no, like, I mean, it's fine. It doesn't really, like, do anything. Oh. Okay. Question is, how long would this take me to do? And is it safe to get more bodies up here? Well, it's slightly scarier with that, because now I'm gonna grab onto things and get stuck constantly.
God, you're so thick.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
I mean, you are.
Yeah, I wish I was less. And honestly, people aren't helping.
Let me borrow your sand seal, you bitch.
I am, like, exercising on the bike every night again, but Jesus Christ, like, fucking sucks to do when you're at work. Because you're just like, oh, it's my break, time to go exercise for 30 minutes, and it's like, I'm gonna be tired and sweaty when I go back to work, and it's gonna just, like, suck to sit in this pair of sweaty shorts for the next hour and a half.
Why don't you take clothes to change into?
Because I don't have many that I want to also wear afterwards. Like, I usually just wear what is comfortable for the day, and then I just swap out the next day. You know, after sleep. Oh, this could be really bad. Okay, wasn't really bad, but could have been
at
worse.
least shorts.
What?
Why don't you just take shorts to change into?
Because I have a limited supply of shorts. And I
This is
usually
all-
wear them every other day. So. You know, reasons, basically.
I'm 95% certain there's an easier way for me to go about this, but this is the path I've chosen.
Sometimes you just gotta commit, you know?
This
It's
is
not
the
it's not
path I've
necessarily a better decision. You just Huh.
This is the path I've chosen. I've sealed my fate. Oh, fuck.
Okay. We're not dead, is all that really matters. Somehow we didn't die in this ridiculous set of events.
Climb up there, pretty boy. Let's
Oh my
go.
god, please.
I'm upset that Nick hasn't shown up yet.
I'm assuming Nick's just not going to. He's probably either at home or spending time with Rachel.
Oh, he needs to stop that.
He needs to stop spending time with his girlfriend. There's a sort of irony to that. Well, that guy's in the fuck corridor now, so I'm not going to touch him.
There's gotta be an easier way to do this. I'm just scaling a mountain. I'm just climbing up
Yeah,
the fucking side of the mountain.
Wow, I just realized how much I hate that sound.
What?
The weird scuttling that, like, scarab creatures make in this. It's pretty not good. Alright, I think I'm just deep enough that I don't care about that Kali altar anymore. I do want that rope back, though.
Are you after me? No. Cool. Let's try it.
Okay. I don't exactly have much cash on me, but let's go, I guess.
I like how we're both just like,
Well, for me, it's just kind of like, I just need resources now. Ow, I hate these wall spikes with a burning passion.
I have nothing that boosts upstairs. Oh, fuck yeah, I do!
Please, let me go. I wish I... Okay, this is bad because slavery. But I wish that I could just throw this man to one of these storekeepers and be like, take him. He's yours.
I don't know. I don't know what
Do,
I'm doing.
like, none of you have a good bomb box for sale? You are all absolutely terrible. I hate all of you. Not a single soul is selling, like, a big bomb box.
I'm here to fight wolves, man. My chest hurts.
I don't know why I'm gonna need ropes, but just in case we need ropes to hang out on, I guess. I don't think there's anything else here for me.
Fucking bring it, you stupid dog.
Also, there might be somebody who is chunkier, but I hate to tell you this. Our friend has died. That doesn't mean that I want to be the heavier person than a lot of other people.
I mean, I'm
Oh, we
heavier
did
than
it.
you.
Love how disconnected you two are at this very moment. It happens a lot.
What? Oh, how we just aren't caring about conversation?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shaking hands meme of Noid and Rachel fighting wolves.
Ah, fuck me.
Oh, hey, you guys heard my plea. Thank you.
My favorite thing about Breath of the Wild is sometimes you can just push shit off the edge.
I mean, you're describing like how I played that game was just explosives off of the edge. You can do this? I mean, I'm not like going to kill Olmec here, of course. I'm just like fucking off. You should see the streams where Nick and Rachel just look at real estate while Noid streams.
Yeah, those are good. Those are good, solid streams. Because then it's usually Nick and I just ignoring you for like half an hour, and then you eventually get tired of your game, and you'll join us in looking up real estate. It's a good time for the whole family.
Listen, if there's a weird thing that we mentioned that has happened as a result of like a strange idea or some other weird bullshit, like you can bet that we've done that as a stream. Like you just it's just how they happen, man.
Man, I love looking at real estate.
And chat can't see what they're looking at, so it's incredible. I'm glad that you like these weird stupid things.
Oh man, I want Nick to come on so we can look at real estate. I want to message him.
Hey, you need to be here because not only did you miss Apex, you've missed real estate.
I want to look at real estate with Nick.
I mean, nobody's saying you can't look at real estate yourself.
Yeah, but you don't like real estate.
I don't mind when you guys do those. Like, I think they're funny. I just don't look at real estate. And when I do, it's like I look at it for like 7 hours. Okay, that solved that problem.
I just told Nick, get online. I want to look at houses, but you're not here. It's only fun to look at houses.
$20,000. Skamazed.
I'm hungry, but sick. I also have no food. I have food. It's just food that takes effort, and I have corn. I want to eat corn.
Get out of here.
Corn.
Porn.
I like porn, but no, I have corn.
That doesn't make sustenance, unfortunately.
What?
It doesn't make food.
Corn? You can just eat corn by
No,
itself.
porn.
Oh. Well, I mean, come.
That's not food.
We'll fill you up.
Oh! Okay. Okay. It's even more expensive. Okay. Flying fish can fuck right off. Get me out of here. Oh, ice caves, how I hate you so. I'm sorry, were you floating down with a pair of panties, my child? Oh, that's where you could sacrifice yourself, I'm guessing, right? Yeah. Those are just a pair of panties. Oh, let's see how he's having a good time. We'll leave him be. We'll join him, actually. What the fuck?
I'm thirsty, boy. Ever wonder what it's like to be a ninja?
In your ninja clan. Here you stand. Oh!
You're eating one, Paul.
Ever wonder what it's like to be the bad man, to be the sad man? Rachel has managed to get drunk just by thinking. That happens, for sure.
No, I'm very sick.
I'm sorry, is this like a... It's a fucking mech suit from like the goddamn Mega Man series. It's a Mega Man mech. Yo, this thing's fucking heavy though, I'm gonna be real. I didn't think that it was going to shoot a gun.